Welcome folks, thank you for tuning in for another video. So today's video I'll be focusing on not my creatures. I'll be focusing on Hydeni runes. Runes, not runes, runes. I've been saying runes for too many times. Alright, the reward, 2 times Rainbow Mon. Again, not that exciting. Now this is when you're going to start wanting to use your reps all the way through. So I'm going to start doing that now. I'm actually going to start using reps. So I'm going to remove these 3 and I'm going to start using the reps that I've got. And they're going to help me progress through faster. So let's just watch what happens. So as you can see, once I use a rep, they jump in, deal heaps amount of damage, and they tend to be pretty quick. Nice. Okay. So like all the other scenarios, 7 stages, 1 will give me a slot 1 rune, 2 will give me a slot 2 rune, etc, etc, etc. Now, the drops in this is guard runes. Guard runes is a 2 set, like all the other 2 sets, so if I have 2 out of my 6 slots dedicated to that, it then adds defense of the monster that it's equipped to. I'm going to go back to not using rep just for now. It will increase their defense by 15%. So ideally, defense mons will probably make more use of that. So that's monsters that are high in defense naturally. They'll probably use, as I say, they'll probably use it a little bit more than what this one would. Again, stackable like the HP, like the focus. So if I have 6 guard runes on a monster, it will increase its defense stat by 45%. Defense reduces the amount of damage. So if I deal damage to a creature, it is literally my attack minus the defense, roughly. Okay, so if I can reduce their defense, like I just did then, that defense break, it makes them pretty squishable. As you can see, very squishable. All right, so he's got a buff. He's got will, he's got immunity, which means he can't get debuffs. Okay. So this scenario, very easy to get through with your reps. Imagine my Vampire Lord as a rep, so to speak, because it's equivalent of it. It's a Nat 5 with fully decked out runes. So he's going to make this pretty easy for me in that sense. Everyone's getting Vampire Lords. I think every single video I've done for this series, in the chat line you'll see Vampire Lord summon. So everyone's summoning their Vampire Lords, which not a surprise. He's a pretty decent monster. So if you're starting Summoner's War for the first time, you're in luck. You're going to get a very decent monster. If you a little bit later down the track, I apologise. But look, you'll get your other monsters as you go progress. It's just the way it goes. So here he goes. Buffs up my team. I'm going to lose my team in a second, but that won't matter because he'll get through. So there's not really much to say about guard runes. Do I use them much? Yeah, I do. Just trying to think. I normally use them on monsters that I just want to make them a little bit tougher, so they can take a bit of a hit and not die. So I'm just thinking in some of my accounts. So I have a Nat 4 Wind Barbarian King, and he's got guard runes. It makes him more sustainable. I use him in my Giants team, in my main account, so he can take at least 1 hit from the Giant and not die. Without the guard runes, he'd die in 1 hit. So he uses guard runes. Some defense-based mons that use guard runes. So as you can see in my team there, I've got what looks like a wolf. He's the water Inugami. The wind Inugami is a defense-based monster, which means its defense stats are higher than standard monsters. Now what that means, if I put guard runes on him, the guard percentage increase will be far more substantial than what would be the case for other monsters. So obviously, monsters that are defense in nature are probably more than likely the monsters you're going to want to stack. I made it to level 8. So I'm in for a bit of a rude awakening when I finish scenario, so we'll get through that in a second. So once we finish scenario, you'll see something pop up. Remember back in the first episode of this series, I mentioned the challenges was an advantage that you guys got, which I didn't have in my day. So that's going to be unlocked for me soon. They're going to talk to me about it in a second once I finish this scenario. And it'll be the first section, so I believe leveling up monsters. So we'll get to that in a second. So that will start changing some of this. It will change some of your goals. So at the moment, I'm just trying to clear scenarios as fast as I can because I want the rewards at the end of the scenarios. The challenges, they're going to make me go, yeah, I want to finish the scenario, but I want to make sure I'm doing this at the same time. So you can start doing multiple things at once in a second. So at the moment, the only thing we're doing is trying to get through the scenario as fast as possible, but also I'm leveling up my monsters as we go through it. And myself, actually, my account's leveling up. Obviously, I just went to a level 8. So, here we go. 13 seconds. Okay. That was slot 5. So this is stage 6. I know this probably seems slow for the viewer. I do apologise. This is actually relatively quick. When you're doing this without a vampire lord, it's actually a lot slower. So I'm glad I was umming and ahhing about whether I should introduce the vampire lord in the series, and I'm glad I did just to speed it up. At this stage, yes, you will be using reps though. So try and get as many of those reps in the chat line, like I said back in my previous video. It's a good idea to do that. It'll just help you progress through this, remembering that you can only use a rep once per day. So hopefully you can have up to 50 friends, and with the 50 friends you can therefore have 50 reps. So hopefully you'll have enough to get through. I think with 30 reps you'll have enough to get to Feynman if you start fresh. And Feynman, I keep talking about Feynman, but you never go, what is he talking about Feynman for? It's a key part of the scenario. It's a very famous part of the scenario. In fact, back in the old days, Feynman was... Now Feynman drops revenge runes. Back in the old days, there was violent runes in Feynman. Everyone used to farm it just for the violent runes, which you can't get in scenario anymore. Very sad day when that changed. But the other reason it's a key part is because the reward at the end of Feynman is a very nice reward. I won't talk about that just yet. Here we go. Almost finished. This is the boss stage, isn't it? This is the boss stage? Am I up to the boss stage? You can tell I'm getting really bored with the scenarios all the time. Normally I'm farming giants or dragons or the dungeons. Actually, my main I'm farming the Rift Beast mainly. Yes, this is the boss. So let's get rid of the boss. And that buff she just applied to herself is when I kill her, she'll come back. There we go. She's popped back up. Easy fix though. I can just kill her again. For some reason my vampire lord's go, I'll kill the other two dudes. There you go. Done. Marvellous. Shout out to Raph, he's my guildmate there. You see that blue writing? He's actually having a go for the guild in the guild siege. I'm not going to just give him a quick shout out. So Ravenmont's not too excited. They're 2 stars, so normally I feed them. Alright, and then this is going to talk at me because I finished the scenario. It's going to talk about the next part of the scenario that I've actually unlocked. Yeah. Talking at me. Yep, marvellous. I've unlocked it. But now if I click on this... oh, I need to see if you're qualified to be my pupil. Alright, so then you start talking at me about this. Now this are the challenges, and I've unlocked one. And the one I've unlocked is Monster Training 101. So what I recommend to you now is once you've unlocked that, before you do anything further in scenario, always check, can I do something further here? Now in the case of this, I've already done this, which is reach a level 15 with an attack monster, so I can collect that. Then it unlocks this, and this is equip Fatal Runes and equip Blade Runes. Okay. I've got Blade Runes. Remember, we got Blade Runes from an earlier scenario that I completed. I'm just going to collect these things quickly. Give me some Mana Stones. Do I have Fatal Runes though? Let's have a look. Do I have any Fatal Runes lying around? And the answer to that is no, I don't. That's okay. That's okay, because I can cheat this with my Vampire Lord if I wanted to, but I won't do that now. Remember, I've got free rune removal, so I could actually remove the Fatal Runes and put them back on just to get through that. So that is the challenge. That's now going to start helping me progress. It's going to teach me about those things I've been talking about, leveling up my runes. And if you can see there, it talks about Fatal a bit there. Yeah, it does. Attack power of the monster will be increased by 35% from completing the set. So listen to those tutorials, use them, and they will help you progress, because there's actually quite a few rewards to. So these rewards don't seem that great. That one doesn't seem that great. That one seems okay. You're getting some angel ones, which are boosts when you feed them to a monster, their experience. This one gives me a mystical scroll, so that's a summoning a nat 3 or higher monster. This one gives me some Fatal Runes, not really that exciting. Mana, that was quite nice. That looks a lot of energy. Rune slots 9, yay. Rainbow ones, but that gives me some scrolls. So as you can see, the challenge is probably a good thing to invest some time into to help you progress. And look guys, that will be it for this video. I'm going to sign off now. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.